So what are currently the 10 most chased or sought after champions in game? Let's face it, when you go to your unowned section, there's tons of champions I bet a lot of you wish you had. Like, I'm still hunting for champions like Ironheart, Future Ant-Man, and Ultron. Yeah, there's some really odd ones that I don't have, but I do have a lot of good ones. So I should be pretty grateful to have some of the champions that I've got. But what I wanted to find out is from the community, you watching this video, what is and are the current most chased champions in game, as voted for by you, the community. You came out, a large amount of you, to this post. Look out for other posts where we try and get some data, and also just nice to see a little bit of feedback. I read through all of your comments, and we had 379 comments overall, which of course allowed me to create some data. And the data of course gives us an idea of like who are the most chased champions. But before we get into that and kind of have a look at the data showing the champions, the top 10, let's just point out the fact that if you do want to get some of the champions that you're missing out of, make sure to save your units for things like July 4th deals, for selectors that appear from time to time, and Cyber Weekend deals, because you might have the opportunity, it's never guaranteed, to get 7-star selectors depending on the years that you'll be able to choose with them. But there's also other ones for different types of rarities. If you're missing a 6-star, there could be something available to you. A lot of the lower selectors seem to be more located in, say, Thronebreaker Paragon than they are for the top end of Valiant, but you never know what could appear, and I think July 4th deals are better for selectors. So if you're missing a champion, hey, you may get a chance to select something you really want. Just make sure to save your units now. So just quickly, ones that missed out on the top 10 were Future Ant-Man, Jack-O-Lantern, Photon, Kushala, Count Nefaria. They were really close to breaking into the top 10. And I can tell why. I mean, I don't have 2 of those on those list. In at number 10, it doesn't really take away from the fact that he's still a fantastic champion and he's a very much sought after champion to interact with and smash down cosmic champions. Great Serpent counter. We're also looking at just like destroying any cosmic champion. Gains a lot of buffs on that defender. Hey, no problem. Smash them with America Chavez. So, yeah, 10, but still fantastic. Sharing joint 9th because I had equal amount of votes for both these champions. First of all, Silk, just a fantastic science-based champion, great for any kind of meta. She seems to be picking up steam in Battlegrounds. If it's not that, it's Alliance Wars Showcase, you name the content, she's used for it. The other champions sharing that 9th position is Cosmic Ghost Rider. This is an easy champion to rotate with and do a lot of damage. A champion I've got to rank up to rank 5 to take into the Dimensional Beings Karina's Challenge coming up soon. But that's another story for another day. Great champion, great damage, easy rotations, and yeah, works well with both mastery sets depending on how you're set up. In at number 8 is Kate Bishop. It's not a champion for me, but I've seen a lot of people do some fantastic things in the community with this champion. She falls into her own with whatever content she needs to do. A lot of times I've seen her do like amazing things in Battlegrounds, just general content, story mode, you name it. She could be worked into a lot of things to do a lot of damage. And a lot of people do chase her quite extensively in order to make a difference in your roster. In at number 7, and good to see that it's gone a lot further down the rankings of what people actually want to get. Hercules does fill a point. It's a fantastic champion. Yes, it's a get out of jail free card when it comes to being smacked down and getting that awakened ability Son of Zeus, where you go and become immortal for a length of time. However, there is some, and also other parts of utility. That SP1 is an easy access to an auto block counter and a miss counter. The extent of damage you can do through the quest that you're using a champion and fights when you got ramped up to your feats of strength and of course your cruelty, your precision that comes with a champion. He's able to do a lot of damage. I like it. And I'm sure a lot of people like the fact that he's able to interact well with Double-Edged Liquid Courage Masteries. He has a lot of amazing qualities, but it was kind of weird to see him down lower in the pecking order compared with some of the other ones. There is a surprise at number 3, but also there's an obvious one, if you know the current state of chase champions within this game. Joint 6th is Hulk, and the other one, which we'll talk about in a minute, but Hulk is Hulk. Fantastic, because he smashes extensively, and I've used him so much in content. You've seen that. I've talked about it. Like, to the ends, access to Fury passives, the extensive build-up on the stun lock rotation, destroying a lot of Mystic champions, and is, again, like a great option to just destroy enemies with, oh, they stunned? Yeah, just obliterate them with a stun, and you're able to kind of like just take on any piece of content. He's a bit of a freight train, but there's also a freight train coming up. But who was the second one that got the 6th position? Well, it's Enchantress, a champion that is very frustrating as a defense-based option, and why a lot of players are going out of their way to try and get this as a defense in place. Battlegrounds, Alliance Wars defense. She is going to be a pest, and a pest for a little while. There are counters. It doesn't take away from the fact there are counters out there for the champion. But I imagine this year more champions will be put in place to counter her, which is going to be hopefully a fantastic addition to help out. Because as you know, Kaban put tricky defenders, but also put attackers to take on said defenders. So you have to spend your money and also your resources to go and get. Go figure. So yes, Enchantress is a great defensive option. She's good in attack, but I think a lot of people are going out of the way to get the defense option in place for things like Battlegrounds, Alliance Wars defense, and just having her there as being a tricky option. Next up is Juggernaut. This is one of my favorite champions at the moment. I'm probably going to do a video like, here are my 5 favorite champions at the moment. I might even stretch it to a 10, but Juggernaut is one of my favorites at the moment. Just the easy access to just destroy. I just have to do an SP1, an SP2, and the job is done. Of course, I need my Unstoppables up to do some damage. And of course, I do like the Awakened ability. It's not excessively guaranteed with nullifying. Attacks have a percentage chance per unstoppable buff to nullify. Yes, as that ramps up, it does become better. If you've got 10 unstoppables, you're able to nullify better. But I do like the Awakened ability, and I think it was a great addition to a 6-star back a long time ago, which I awakened, put some signatures in, and he became a better option in a piece of content after the buff. And of course, he is literally a freight train. This is the second freight train of a champion where you just need to blast into enemies. He's a nuker. He is all of those things. So yeah, love the champion. Great damage. In at number 4 is Bullseye, a fantastic champion. It has a little bit of utility, but also does a great amount of damage. I don't personally use him much from the attacking side of things. However, there are some great elements of utility. If we're looking at an auto block counter, an evade counter, and a miss counter, this champion can field a very bespoke role of helping you out. That's 3 elements of tricky based things that he does very easily. As soon as you get to an SP1, it's like true accuracy, and you've got the counter into miss, which is amazing. Very handy champion to have for those elements. And yeah, okay, the damage is good as well. But from a defensive perspective, he is frustrating as anything. Yes, there are counters out there for Bullseye. Yes, with the Negasonic Teenage Warhead, with Storm, with several other champions, he is shut down. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that he is a tricky defender. You see him a lot of time in Alliance Wars defense, and of course in Battlegrounds defense as well. If you've got 4 tricky defenders, and it's like, okay, I can only ban 3 of those, then guess what? If Bullseye's left, then that could be either they've got a counter for it, or he is going to be a pest for them. So there's a great champion there. This is an unexpected number 3. This champion got the third amount. It nearly beat, no, it did beat, but it nearly was Bullseye the third one. But Dr. Doom is the 3rd most chased or needed, wanted, and desired champion. I didn't see this coming. Like, I am looking forward to a 7-star version, but as a 6-star version, this for years has been a staple of my roster. I find it one of the best for access to suppression of buffs, easy access to stagger. It's got that shock immunity from the champion. You've got nice rotation around SP3, SP3, SP2, because you get 2 Fury buffs as a result. And then on your 3rd rotation based on power control, which is just so amazing. That power control makes this champion like one of the best. I think he is one of the, if not the best power control champion. If Dormammu, I think, was a little bit better or ramped up or buffed, I feel that he may have been like, you know, a better option for power control. But Dr. Doom is insane, and yeah, one of my favorites. A very surprising 3rd in the list, and I do agree with this. But I was surprised to see it. Like, I've always thought this is a very underrated. It's not underrated. It's a rated champion, but I think it's an odd to see everyone else chasing it or want to chase this champion so much. Now on to the final two. Second on the list is Serpent. Serpent is a double whammy. He is an annoying defender. He's an annoying attacker. Not annoying attacker. He's a good attacking champion. And with his awakened ability, wow, okay, just a lot of them, the final two are definitely the most sought after champions. To give you an idea, this had 14 more votes or kind of like mentions than the one that's number one, which I think a lot of you can already guess. It is the next one's got 12 more votes. The Serpent is just incredible damage, just very nice. Defense, very nice. What can you say from a cosmic champion? He gets buffs, he do damage, he build a lot of power quickly. He reduces down power drain effects and power burn effects, which of course is a bit frustrating for a lot of champions. You want to power control with this champion, but there you go. And his channeling cold force does give him, again, another edge for a little bit of utility, but also more damage potential. And our most tallied champion was Onslaught. This is the one that appeared most frequently within the people that voted. If I was to go by the amount of likes on the top comment of that particular post, it would probably mean that this would have like 100 more votes, but we've kind of done it from any time that character was mentioned by name with it. But yeah, Onslaught is so much is the most chased character for an attack, a defense. He is a nuker. He's able to take, like, even some cases, people might even go, do you know what? I'll just take it against any tech champion, any frustrating type of fight and go, well, I can do some damage with him. I can do a lot of tick damage with him. I could do a lot of degen damage with him. Or it's just put him on defense and people are frustrated by him. There are some, like, champions out there that kind of bypass elements to it, and you can find some good ins to go, hey, this is a good counter for this one. And I'm sure Kabam this year will release champions that are able to counter him. Funnily enough, I think that may come sooner than you expect. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Let's see what happens at the end of the week with the live stream. No, I don't know that, but I'm sure that Kabam will put in champions that are able to counter him more effectively than others, the same way that we've got Negasonic Teenage Warhead and being a counter to Bullseye, but that took a little bit of time throughout the year, so I can imagine we'll see something this year. Either way, annoying defender, amazing attacker, double whammy. You can see why he's one of the most chased characters, and a fun rotation and loop. So yeah, Onslaught is the most chased and the most desired champion within the game. That's been it for the video. I didn't really break down too much into these champions because I didn't want to make this an extensively long video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you when I do my Sean Connery impression. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.